What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy JDiesel coming at you live, and as always, with me, my partner in crime, Grandmaster FloKey himself. How you doing today, my man?
Fella, this character, Janemba. Better yet, it's not about me right now. Like, granted, I got the universal fuzzy, whatever, right? I gotta ask how you doing, JDiesel, because you had an interesting week.
I did have an interesting week. There was the monthly this weekend, and we had a lot of trash talk. A very hype video that is currently circulating on Twitter, but we will get into all of that in just a minute. Before all of that, I gotta introduce our phenomenal guest. I'm sure plenty of you know him already. The master of mid-tiers, going all over the place, winning TSL this week. It is.
Yo, he even put the video camera in last.
Oh man, he's coming through. It is gonna be your boy Axeice. How you doing today, my man?
Pretty good. It's an honor to be in this little chat.
Thank you. Well, we appreciate having you on. Can we talk about how this dude mid intro was like, "Yo, I'm gonna put this freaking webcam on." That was godlike.
Look, that's mid-set adaptation right there. All right, he saw what was happening. He's like, I gotta do it.
He's like, I gotta hit this mix really quick. But thank you so much for joining us today for episode 25. JDiesel.
Oh my God, it has definitely been.
We're at 25.
Yeah, 25. I mean, we've definitely been at this for a while. We've had a lot of distinguished guests on here. Axice, just the latest in a long line. But you know what? For those of you that don't know who this man is, Axeice, why don't you talk a little bit about yourself, introduce you to the people who are going to be listening live as well as on YouTube or anywhere else. Who is Axeice?
Just a normal tournament player, and I've been doing very well on Dragon Ball. Mostly play Dragon Ball for tournaments now. I want to later in the future, and Chaos tournaments for Dragon Ball had put out my name very, very much for the characters I use and the way I play.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, one thing that that kind of separates you from kind of the rest of the pack at HOC is the amount of characters that you play. You've from when I met you to now, I met you in September last year, and you probably played a good chunk of the cast at this point. Is that correct?
I try to use as many characters as I can to find what I fully really enjoy.
Right.
One or two here and there, you know.
Yeah, I feel that. But yeah, that is something that trying to find your favorite character, what you synergize with personally is kind of hard in these kinds of games because it is a team-based game comparative to like a Street Fighter or a Mortal Kombat where you have like one character that you can kind of just gravitate towards. Like, this is my character. This is how I want to play. With you kind of have a bunch of different characters in this pool of yours that you can kind of pick from and make your own. Some notably, like your Android 17, your Goku Black, now adding Janemba to your squad. Talk to me and Jay about your process of how you pick characters, other than like your passions about it. Do you look at like the kits that each one have, or do you like just go like it's like, oh, I just like this character, like let's just put him on the team?
Nice and short, and I could tell you from the very beginning. This game came out. My first team was Janemba. Hit Black. I'm always gonna say the two characters because Goku Black. I don't care. Change my team since day one. I have Goku Black, so that's gonna be established. After some time, I dropped Ginyu, Blue Vegeta, who was originally a Tin Gohan player for a good minute, actually.
I remember that.
Win success.
Yeah.
At HOC. started doing noticeably better than Blue Vegeta and Base Goku.
I think that's what a lot of people know you for. Your base Goku, notably. Now with Janemba and Android 17, I feel like those three characters now are kind of like along with your Goku Black, but your Goku Black's astonishing sometimes. There's some reads you make with Ki Blast that not a lot of people like a Nokami or Matoy make, and it kind of just separates you from the pack. Jay, how do you feel about his character pool and like kind of like his history with like picking everything?
So I'm going to start off with Goku Black. And the reason I'm going to start off with Goku Black was Game 5 post-bracket reset this week at TSL.
Oh,
God. The run back? Like, like with Goku Black was absolutely insane. Like, how solid you play that character is absolutely insane to me. Especially when people love to talk about, oh, Goku Black's got no mix. He's just worse than SSJ Goku. Why is anyone going to play this character? When I watch you play Goku Black, it makes me go, yeah, of course. That's why you play Goku Black over SSJ Goku, right? Because I feel like you really utilize the tools, the character. Like, if you try to play Goku Black the same way you play SSJ, you're just playing a worse character. Sure. But if you play Goku Black like you play Goku Black, you make that character's strengths shine. And that's one of the things that, to me, as like a player watching you, I find the most impressive. Now, your character pool, that shit is just wild. I'm gonna throw it straight out.
Yeah, he's just like straight up. What the fuck is that?
Because every time I see, like, because I'll catch HOC time to time, and I'm like, and every time it's like I feel like I'm looking at a different team. And it's just like, it's wild to me. And it's like, and watching you go through, because I remember you were on the Base Coup bus well before most people. Like now it's after like Wawa like really had a breakout performance. People are like, oh, I always knew that Base Coup was kind of good. I just, I didn't want to play him myself. I'm like, shut up. Y'all were trashing on him for fucking 6 months. Like, get out of here.
The crazy thing was, right? Like, Axeice was putting in work way before
exactly
like that tournament happened.
And I think
in season 1, Base Goku, compared to season 2, Base Goku was, and I was using Base Goku in season 1.
That's a testament to your gameplay. I know you and Random Fiend were kind of like the two Base Gokus over in New York for a very long time until Jiren and them came out. Which is another character in your pool, which is really interesting, along with Nappa. Those characters are like, what's interesting about your pool as well. I've noticed it's like you have a couple of you have different sizes of bodies, right? You have a couple big bodies on your team, in your pool. You have a couple mid bodies, and you have a couple small bodies. Characters like Android 17, Blue Vegeta. You also have characters like Nappa, Jiren, like mentioned, even Janemba. Like, that pool is very different. Every team that kind of composed can be played in a different style. What kind of put together, like you played Android 7, you played Base Code Nappa for the longest, and I'm like, how the hell does this team work together? And I just see you putting together sparkless TODs. I'm just like, I'm just gonna put my hands up and act like I didn't see that, and I'm just gonna walk away. Like, that's like
character been out. I never see crazy tech of re-loops and re-jumps, but
right
about how this character could kill you.
Right.
That makes a character bad in any kind of way.
I agree with that. But yeah, no, I think the character pool is. I'm just astonished over this character pool. Like, the list is deep. Is there one character that you wish you can add to that character pool of yours?
I really want to use Blue Vegeta again, but because a couple of things, and mostly because his assist, I'm using him. I honestly do kind of prefer now, but I really wanted to have Blue Vegeta go to, but way I know he is.
Yeah.
His playstyle is really cool. I mean, huge patch that came out, they heard it 17.
Mm-hmm.
To myself to use them a couple of times. I kept keep getting frustrated by simple things when I know I was kind of in the right.
Right.
Oh, guess what they did? They fixed those problems for 17.
And then it's just like, hallelujah, praise the Lord, we got your barrier back.
Yeah, I got my character back, my barrier back. I'm loving Janemba weirdness. He feels like Goku Black in a way. He has counters like Jiren I liked. He has like where approach don't have, and I like that. So I have
Janemba right now seems like a jack of all trades, off rip. Like he has the counter, he has that kind of stuff. Jay, how do you feeling about Janemba? Let's get into it. Let's talk about this new character.
All right. So
let's talk about this crazy dude.
My first thoughts on Janemba is I think everyone was way too quick to write this character off. I'm gonna be real. I'm not personally a fan of people on Twitter going, this character has been out for 2 hours. One guy actually said this character was Krillin tier. And how do
you do that?
And I just stopped because I was like, how the hell do you look at this character and go, Krillin tier, obviously. This guy's got nothing, right? Like, I've said it once, I've said it a million times. If a character has tools, right? If a character has enough tools, they can only be so bad because they have tools to address most situations. Now, can those tools be kind of wonky? Can they not work? Yeah, that's definitely possible. But if they have enough of them, that's likely not to be the case. Janemba, first thing I noticed, ton of tools. Like the fact that he can angle his ki blast, the black hole against beam assist, which is some of the most common assists that we have currently in the meta right now. I mean, the teleport mix is actually pretty solid. His synergy with other top tiers in terms of like Kid Buu and stuff like that, incredibly high. The only knock against him is potentially the assist, but I think that's because people were expecting like a lockdown assist, which it's not. It's not a lockdown assist.
I get some crazy conversions.
Exactly,
and like it's so good,
and that's it. It's donut.
It's basically it's like putting Orb from Piccolo and Donut on the same assist. Right? Orb kind of like because you can reflect and super dash through it, but then you also have the idea of it tracks you, and then with Donut assist, it locks you down. It has that much hit stun behind it that you can get that much conversion. So, in a funny story about Janemba, the very first stream I tried with it, I had to put down the arcade stick and stop playing it because I was like, this like Janemba Yamcha is scary. Like, I tried 2 things with that team. Something with Orb and then 6M. Can we talk about how that 6M just hits almost full screen? Like,
the source sweep.
It's just like
his 236 is 80% of the screen, and it deflects ki blast.
Wait, it deflects ki blast? Mama.
No, one thing that made me so happy, and it was like, oh, I'm picking up this character. Was saying about his assist, his counter assist, but once my friend told me beam assist is any assist.
It's any assist.
Yeah, it works on Bardock, it works on Yamcha, it works on anything. Jiren couldn't do that.
Right.
Activate when a beam assist is activating his projectile counter all the time, and convert from his counter. Yeah. You're plus 24 frames if they block.
Plus 24?
24 plus, yes.
Wow.
What? Goku Black Ki Blast. Because Goku Black Ki Blast on block is 20 frames. Wow. I'm like, this is dumb. You seeing me teabag with Janemba will prevent you from throwing random ki blasts and back assist calling. Bro, just standing there. Come on, that's how I think, you know?
Plus 24?
So just by having the threat, you can kind of seal off their options.
Yeah. And like, because I was actually talking to somebody earlier, and I was like, I don't know, because I know it went through projectiles. I didn't know it went through Yamcha and Bardock. Because if that's the case, I learned
that 2 days ago too.
That kind of like changes the way you look at the character. because
I tried.
that's so crazy. Like, oh
People
my
super
god.
dash, stagger to see if they confirm the super dash, and then Bardock assist. Dash and Bardock, because it's frame 3.
I'm just gonna put my hands up. I'm just gonna put my hands up. Act like I didn't hear any of that. You heard it here. What the fuck is this character?
Think he
I
could
knew he was gonna
change.
be good. I knew he was good. Cause like, and the thing is too, and we can probably get into it. There's no other balance patches for the rest of the year, meaning that this sticks until the end of the year, along with GT Goku, which I think now, because I feel like everybody was playing GT Goku just because of the assist and like X, Y, and Z. Now with Janemba, and I'm glad this came true. Janemba's kind of a breath of fresh air into the meta, where like you have another option to play. Granted, he is a bigger body. He's a double XL. He's cell size, so that means all the cell kind of mix that you can get on a cell character. So you can do like with Gohan, for example, you can do like IED medium light into 2H the light that works on him. Like he has a lot of like intricate things. But how do you guys feel now about Janemba in the meta? Kind of storming in and just like teleporting. No, actually, no, teleporting in.
When
I'm sorry.
I've been hearing, I don't think a lot of tournament players is going to try him, honestly.
Really?
Hearing and stuff, so.
Is there any
I'm
reason
like,
behind that?
being afraid of fuzzies and
Yeah.
Yeah.
that his key, he doesn't have a real key blast. His assist is not reliable. Vegeta assist wasn't reliable for a good minute, but people still respected Vegeta assist.
They still do.
So guess what's gonna happen to a pro player? 2H him and you're gonna die.
That's
Yeah,
very
again.
true. That's very true. Jay, how you feeling about Janemba in the meta now? Taking its toll.
I think Axe has a really good point. I think a lot of tournament players aren't going to touch this character. A lot of tournament players have kind of thrown out the word gimmicky to describe Janemba.
That's very true.
A lot of tournament players don't like characters who are quote unquote gimmicky. It's like the same thing, kind of like Ginyu. I think Janemba falls into a somewhat similar vein. I think Janemba is more stable than Ginyu in that like he has a very specific game plan, and I don't think he gets stuffed quite as hard as Ginyu does.
Right.
But I still think it's that volatility that a lot of tournament players don't want to end up dealing with. Because you want your character, like, that's why you play characters like Bardock and Super Saiyan Goku. Because they have strong tools, they're really consistent, and no matter who you're playing against, you do the exact same thing.
Right.
And when you're playing, like, 6 or 7 matches in a row, you don't want to have to deviate too much. You just want to pick your game plan, you want to execute, and you want it to work.
Yeah.
Do you feel, I actually gotta kick this over to you, Axeice, because you've been playing the character a lot. Do you feel like Janemba, what is his matchup spread like? Like, are there any characters you feel like he gets really beat by, or is he relatively even with most characters?
Before we go into that, you had a good point. Just like Bardock, you could just pick up GT character. GT Goku is a character you could pick up.
Yeah.
Right.
Spirit Bomb, Oki for free. Top tier characters, aka Adult Gohan and Goten, still one of the best characters in the game. How I think OP Goten is, and no one is using them in meta at all.
Very true.
A little more work into them, as you know, work you put in the game, but to learn that character.
Right.
In GT Goku.
Makes sense.
It's the same with Goku Black, but in a way, because they don't have key blasters, they have unique buttons. Ways where if you try to do certain combos with them, the same traditional way you've been doing it for the past year. So, like FloKey said, he's not a bad character. You technically fighting a 4 versus the time.
Yeah, sounds about right.
His squad is very overwhelming, even for someone like me. There's nothing you could do because even if you make doing what they need to do, powerful tool like Janemba, where he could think, think to throw out a key blast second in a fast fighting game, and they will lose their turn or get hit.
Right. That's a really
To
interesting
do an
point.
action in anything in life or a games, aka split seconds, and
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree on that, and I think the plug and play nature of Janemba's not plug and play. Kind of like you harped on is like there are plenty of other characters that it's like, okay, I just pick this character up, give me like 2 weeks, a couple Twitter combos, and you're done.
exactly.
Whereas Janemba's he's not like that. Also, I think this is actually a question because you obviously have gotten to play this character a lot. How do you feel playing him? Do you feel like you have to work harder when you're playing him in match?
Since I really love Janemba, I feel like everything I do with him, I answer for someone.
Okay, so you feel like he kind of has that tool for every situation.
JDiesel and FloKey, he didn't know his 236 L.
I didn't know. I literally didn't know these things. Listen, I lagged him for 2 whole seconds before I had to go out.
His sword slash is almost full screen. It deflects key blasts, so you could use that kind of tool. So you could just throw it out there. Oh, yeah, +2, kinda. Okay. So they can't run up and punish you.
Yeah.
It's unique, but since I got the reaction, or I'm able to react to certain things, and they try to super dash the key blast, it's easy to 2H it. Key blast is in the game, in my opinion. This key blast is back. You can super dash it. 2H. 4 times in a tournament too.
4 times.
That's kind of sus.
But
yeah, no. I definitely agree. I think this character is in a really good spot. One thing that was definitely brought up, because I did talk to a couple people over in my scene for CT.
Yeah.
He just had a difference. CT has a really interesting opinion on him. As well as Mass New England's kind of unanimous on the character. I feel like he has a lot of tools. I feel like he's more of a point in mid, in my opinion. I feel like he has a lot of good stuff going for him. Personally, I'm glad. As a side note, I'm glad the Chowder tweet blew up. I'm just saying.
Oh my god, your Chowder tweet.
Listen, I saw Axice playing Chowder on Bumstream. I was lit. I was like, this dude appreciates good content.
This is a man of culture. That's all it is.
If you're not playing Color 7 Janemba, are you really playing Janemba? Like I don't understand. Like Color 12 is cool and all, but have you seen Chowder in a fighting? Like what?
Yeah, color. I love purple, so that's a default for me.
Oh, see, by default, he's gonna play Chowder. Like this is godlike.
Janemba is Chowder confirmed.
Yeah. One thing too. And we can kind of touch on this and kind of go into the whole TSL conversation now. One thing that was really funny that happened was the Janemba thing. From this past week versus Nitro Bros. Talk to me about that in that moment. Were you just like, you know how this ends? I'm gonna counter you until you think you're not gonna press a button. Because again, you were +24 regardless.
I counter, and even if your opponents deflect the counter, you are still plus.
Right.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
Basically,
That's crazy.
gonna deflect and smash, and he level 3 and took the risk, but I think he still did it too early. We did that once on my stream before.
Really.
To like,
So it's already been done. So it's already been done. Like
yeah, I
Amina
did
Assassin
it.
put it on his Twitter, but it's already been done in match and practicality. That's crazy.
At tournament, you don't want to lose your turn no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Make a mistake, and that was my last character last round.
Mm-hmm.
He would have won and went to winner finals. The
Yeah.
winners.
Yeah. Like, and let's talk about Nitro Bros really quick as a side note, because you and him have been kind of going back on, because I remember June said on commentary that you and him have been training partners pretty much as of late.
Thanks to Yoga Flame, honestly. I used to be. Oh, I'm Yoga Flame Discord. I met a lot of cool guys. I started my streaming career, I guess you could call it, because online search sucks. So
It does. It does. You could just say it straight up. Just
sucks. So
online's trash.
for matches, and Nitro was one of them, and we stood by to each other, and now he supported my stream and pretty fast. Like he plays with me a lot consistently. How fast his growth is. He's not giving up himself.
That's awesome.
Ain't
Like
giving up.
he's one of the few people that a lot of people didn't know about him because I've heard the name before of just Nitro, not Nitro Rose. I've heard of Nitro Bros. I've had the chance to commentate a couple of his matches before, through the online arcade as well as the Carnivore Gaming, as well as he did come to our very first jump off that was at Encore Esports, and he beat Random Fiend that day. Just the way he's been playing, it kind of goes to a testament. I think Coach C said it best on commentary that TSL. We've had a couple of people from Bum's House on here before. Playing and winning Bum's tournament is the hardest thing in the country to do. Like, it's a true testament. Like, you guys are grinding every single week. I saw a tweet from Faulty Thing said they were playing until 6 a.m. Like
He's crazy.
that's insane. That's genuinely insane. And like it really shows how crazy New York's been to get better at the game and kind of prove that they're one of the powerhouses going into the rest of this game, especially with the end of season 2 kind of looming. You only have 2 characters left, and like we're kind of on the later half of the year now. Since Evo's over, we only have a couple majors left, so I think it's really interesting to see where New York is. How do you feel? Because you're kind of like on the like low key, like along with like the Kill Sage, Random Fiend, Sonic Fox, Nakil, right? You're kind of like on that. And even like there's so many players. Like, how do you feel about now? Like about New York now? Kind of in this season compared to season 1, because you've been in the game since the game came out.
I see what you mean. I think because honestly, and there's other people that shows like June, me, me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still kind of young. 40 is really young. Nitro's young. They're not even their 20 age mark. Inspires other people.
It's crazy.
Other people when when you live in a city with and people in one barrel, people talent.
It's genuinely crazy to think about, because I've been to New York a couple times. I've hung out with you guys a lot. One thing that is a really testament is like when you guys like play other states or like play other countries, you kind of band together and like you kind of like root for your own, right? Like it's really cool to see. Like everybody has their different rivalries in New York, but I feel like there's like the commodity. That's just general FGC, right? But Jay, how do you feel about New York? Like we've had a couple of chit chats about New York. on this podcast.
What is up, YouTube?
I mean,
How do you feel now about, because we've talked, the last time we talked about NY was with Alucard,
yes.
which was almost 2-3 months ago.
Yeah,
Something like
that
Something like that.
sounds about right, honestly.
Sounds about right. But yeah, how do you feel now about New York? Like, because like we talked about how New York's like one of the best in the country, but like, is it like at the point now, like, because you have those other regions like SoCal and NorCal, and you have Texas, and you have these other states. How do you like? Do you feel that New York's just kind of like standing above the rest,
I mean,
like New York and Jersey?
I would say if there is one weekly in this country that you could say, hey, this is the best weekly in the country, because I watch a lot of Dragon Ball. Like, I commentate, I play, I've done a lot. The level of play at Bums right now is a level above anywhere other weekly I have seen in this country, easily. Like it's not even, it's literally not even a question for me. It's just like, okay, here's Bums. All right, let me figure out who's second. Right? Like that's literally like my thought process when I'm like trying to like talk about locals. Like,
and it's so crazy to think about, and that happens every week.
It does. And like the level of talent because Bums has two things that make it, I would say, really special from like a competitive standpoint. One, you have a ton of different strong players, right?
True.
Like, it's not like, oh man, we have one really, really, really good player, and then we have a bunch of like kind of okay guys who like show up, who like might take some games off, but it's really about this one guy. Like, Bums is our answer to Fighting Tuesday.
That's true.
Like,
I like that.
Like, that's how I view it. I view Bums like the Fighting Tuesday, except for the US, where it's like, these are like a collection of top players who all have a bunch of different styles and stuff like that. But, you know, it's like there's a lot of them, which is like also the second part. There's so many people who go to Bums.
I think last night
I've been to Bums.
Yeah, talk to me, Axe.
it was 30 plus people.
And that's huge.
That's just a week. That's,
right.
He does this weekly. Like,
it's another day for the house. Like,
it feels like almost a major, especially when a lot of the good players come. You know, sometimes Kill Stage randomly comes to the house. Oh, look, there's a monster that.
It's just like, oh shit! I didn't know the boogeyman showed up randomly. Like, the fuck? And then you have people from Jersey coming out with Stage and them.
Lord LK shows up occasionally.
Okay.
Night Accio, they show up. They go to Evo. They travel through the world, and they just randomly show up at Bum's house. So, hey, what's up?
It's crazy too. Like, this past weekend, you guys had some people over from Philly, which
People
was
from Maryland. Yeah, some guy told us he drove 3-4 hours.
Wait, who did you get from Maryland?
I'm terrible with names, but cool dude.
Cool dude.
I'm not sure.
Unique team. I think there's a guy that came from Texas. He was a Base Vegeta player.
Oh, that's hype.
Oh yeah, that's how Sweet J. I know Sweet JP was there from when he was at DTN. Like, you have all these unique players that like people like. The thing is with Bums is like, because I've been there. People will make the time for it if they can. Like, it's on a Thursday to maybe a Saturday sometimes. If you're near the Bronx and you know HOCs that night, you should just go.
You're like, going to play.
Like, there's two things. One, don't feel bad about going 0-2 at Bumps, because like we mentioned, it is the hardest local in the country. Bar none. Like,
I 100% agree.
Like, February, I stood by the same thing. Stood by the same merit. Right, but this was before we had Double L on the podcast, our very first player from New York, right? I said that from rip when I went. I was like, this is the hardest local in the country. Like, 6 months later, it still stands. Like, that's ridiculous. Like,
to me,
it only gets better.
HOC is what NLBC was to Marvel.
Bums did do great with Ultimate Marvel.
Yeah, like they both did good. But I think this is for this game for DBZ. I think HOC set the standard.
True.
Like,
Definitely.
because like normally, like with a lot of things, I think NLBC kind of gets the prestige nod, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they got the prestige nod this time.
Yeah,
I think it
more
actually went
focused
to Bums.
on-
I think Bums got both this time.
I think for this game, for every other game, I feel like Soul Calibur, Sam Show, Mortal Kombat, like those games, right? I feel like those games are at NLBC now. Dragon Ball is at Bums because it has that Marvel feeling, and we've touched on that before.
I mean, also you got like half a dozen extremely strong players like Axeice here showing up on a
True.
weekly basis. Like, how the hell you not gonna have one of the best weeklies in the country?
Like
tell me
seriously,
that.
like dude, like this dude constantly makes top 3, and you're just like, well, it's just my local. Like what? Like what? And then and then you go to defend the North, and because you don't travel as much as the rest of the New York players do. You kind of stay local for the most part. I've seen you at Bums, Birthday Bash, and most recently Defend the North.
New York, so.
Yeah, talk to me about Defend the
IPD
North because
training.
yeah. So talk to me about DTN a bit because that was kind of like, I mean, obviously, like every time you've won TSL, it's kind of been like, it's been kind of like you've been established over there. Talk to me and Jay about going to DTN and competing and getting top 4 over there.
It was fun. I had a booth there too, so I was there all day, basically all morning and night. So me and my friend was selling for the Dragon Ball tournament. I just had confidence and played my tournament. In pools, I almost lost to one of the Canadian guys, which I didn't know there was a Canadian dude until like near the end of the tournament. Pools was kind of cool about the things about DTN. So it wasn't the most smoothest things, but fun because of my friends.
Yeah, I think too, and I think like one thing that's important is like because we did talk about DTM when it happened like a couple weeks ago now. I think you said it best. I feel like tournaments like that, your friends and like moments like you making top 4, for you like you don't travel as much, so that's like a huge thing. Like no one, like the only people that know about you like other than Bum Stream are people in New York and like people that maybe watch the VODs, right? Maybe on an online Netflix, but no one sees you see you compete against players like Chris G on a day-to-day basis. Like like seriously.
Top 32 happened. Wow, I'm here. I have to fight. I have to fight No Kami. My first round is No Kami, and
that's rough.
When pools was happening, on the opposite side, so we didn't have to fight in pools.
Yeah.
Nice that when I was playing, I noticed that he was watching me, and when I won my rounds and stuff, the person who I am and the way I play,
right?
Like really nice. And when I had to play Chris G, my first time ever playing Chris G, I played No Combi 2 times before DTN.
Right.
House. He went to Bum's house and then the birthday bash.
Right.
Very nice to play. I was like, oh, you're the Axice I keep hearing about. I was like,
oh shit.
Oh, that's gotta be flattering as hell.
He said his Twitch chat always mentioned me. I was like, really? Why? Cool.
He's like who are these people? I don't know. But yeah, no, I think like you have like a really good story because a lot of people like in New York know you, obviously, but like on a national scale, right? There's been even talks, and we can get into this maybe, like kind of going back to the Fighting Tuesday comparison, like the whole story of like Hero and Axeice, right? The whole 17 thing, like
the whole thing.
The whole when Gina, did you see when Gina called you out to play Hero? So, Jay, do you know what I'm talking about?
No, this is new for me. Hit it.
So, a while back, I forget when this happened. I think this is before Evo or so, right? I forget the VOD. The Hero who got top 8 at Evo with 17 I forget when he was like, "Yo, this is the best hero 17 in the world." And I was like, he was like, "Yo, I'll have Axeice play play hero." And I was like, if there's two Android 17s in one game, I don't know if the game is gonna be able to contain that. Like the way that character plays is so unique and so different, and a lot of people did write him off. It kind of went back to what Jay said before.
His combo and meter build, especially because they nerf everyone else meter build, he could gain. He's the highest meter build in this game right now.
Wow. I knew it was good. I didn't know it was that good.
Yeah, it's
meters
like,
by himself. 3 meters without sparking and 7 meters with sparking.
3
he
meters?
Makes 7?
What?
8.
He makes 7 meters. He makes 7 with sparking. I'm just gonna
look. That's how you set up for Shenron. Come on,
Vegito, eat your heart out.
Oh God, get childish on here.
No. No. I didn't mean that. But it's a testament to where the game's going. Like 17, we did talk about this before, and like I saw a video today about like from LK, and he was like, "Let the game rock." And I feel like with this patch, right now we're seeing Android 17 come into the fold. Now you're seeing characters like Base Goku come to the fold. Now you're seeing basically Axeice's entire character come to the fold. That's crazy. Like, did you? Let me ask you, Ax. Did you expect Android 17 to be where he is in the meta, or did you expect him to be higher or lower, or do you feel like? So, do you feel like Android 17 is like in a good place right now in the meta, like current meta? Do you feel like
once they fixed it?
Yeah.
Honestly, you don't understand how. Thing you're throwing out records, aka XL drives, to try to anti your opponent in the air, you and your barrier doesn't work.
Right.
You're already taking a risk for doing the right thing. A reward, but now barrier is back. His properties too, and now it feels like not a bug no more. He's not. I might get lucky.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Yeah. I'm blown away. I feel like you and like again mentioning Hero, and back when Jazz Rap did, like you guys kind of like put Android 17 and still are putting 17 on the and the way, especially with those new the read changes back to like undoing, right? They undid the thing that made Android 17 kind of whatever. How do you Jay, talk to me. How do you feel about 17 now?
How do I feel like 17? Well, first I'm going to say I'm not the qualified person in this conversation to be laying down facts about 17.
I already asked Axice,
but my follow-up statement would be, so I'll be honest, I was never super high on 17. Right. But actually a player surfaced in my region the last 3 weeks who plays 17-18 Zamasu.
What the? Okay, wait a minute.
And after playing against him a bunch of times, I have since decided that barrier, watching 17 cancel into barrier on reaction is actually terrifying. Especially doing exactly what you were talking about, Axice, where I'm throwing out aerials or I'm super dashing, and then watching him barrier cancel in front of my face and blow me up is so actually horrifying.
It's terrifying, and the fact that the way another thing too that you didn't mention was Power Blitz. Like Power Blitz is scary. Like there's so many tools. Like there's so many tools with this character that like now like I feel like this character is finally getting what he deserves, right? Like everybody like wrote him off because like granted his records weren't like all the way true, and like you kind of need like you kind of need stuff to, like put together around him. Now I feel like he adds Like he's not no Bardock. Like plain simple, he's not no Bardock. But he's one of those characters that if you don't know what you're doing against that character, you're gonna get smoked. 100%.
I 1,000% agree on
Like
that.
120%. Like if you don't know that 17 can go behind you with Axle Drive, his power blitz. One thing I found out is that one goes up and one goes down. That's scary. Like there's so many just little things about this character.
It doesn't have scaling, and one of the blitz beats out a whole beam.
I'm just gonna go. Mom, can you come pick me up?
If you accidentally hit your opponents with blitz, and it does full scaling. So technically, if you do level 1, you're doing 5K because you accidentally hit them with the blitz. Yeah, it's
Wow.
crazy.
So it's kind of like EX legs.
Kind of, yeah.
Imagine getting hit by a Delt Gohan EX legs, but we're into it, so you just go straight into a level 1.
Yeah.
Like that.
Mom, I'm scared. I need to get picked up. That's so scary.
And
like any point on screen.
One goes down, one goes up. It's fast. If you block it, you lose your turn. If I throw it in front of you, I'm plus. Start my combo. I could restart my combo with 5M. Well, restart my block strings with 5M, and you can't do nothing.
Mom, I'm scared. Can you come pick me up?
No,
good tools, like you said, and that's why I like them. With unique tools. Bardock, simple. He just has a rush down move, single key blast buttons. That's boring to me.
I can
feel like that's not fun to me, and that's all.
No, I agree with that. Just having that character
ridiculous, great range, but what he could do is shoot out one key blast, lariat you, fight lariat. It's mean like a tool against me in neutral.
That's
spinning attack is only good for strings and combos. Enemy throw out there. To use for combos and situations where it could help me answer things I can't do before.
True. That dude, I honestly, I can go on about Android 17 for hours. I feel like this character, along with you can literally the thing is, and one thing I give you so much credit for is because your character, I mentioned at the beginning of the show, top of the show, your character pool is so deep that in your knowledge of each character is so deep that you have so much to talk about. There's not just oh, this character does this, whatever, that's we're getting to that point where some characters are playing linear, and Bardock's kind of the same. We've seen almost every single thing with Bardock for the most part. We haven't seen everything with Android 7.
Yeah,
and I feel like
he has a frame 1 super auto tracks that follows you all the way to the top of the screen. Beam.
Yep.
Top of the screen where you can't even see them, and you level 1 super barrier, it will follow you and hit you. It tracks.
I'm so
somehow
upset.
Behind me, one super in front of you, it will track.
Really? So if they vanish and try to hit a button, you can reversal with it.
Say you are using Vegito.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vegito point as as an assist.
Yeah.
Vegito level 1 is full screen. You slash your sword down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Opponents is so you okay. Let me give you a scenario.
Yeah.
A key blast.
Yes.
Vegito. Play it for your opponents to vanish because they are going to get hit by Vegito.
Right.
Right.
C will stay forward, hit opponents with you, and DAC coming in. He will turn around and punish your vanish before you land.
That's really strong.
So basically, he's a free DHC or free punish with his level 1.
So he can sort of protect your DHC from your opponent being able to challenge it.
That's crazy. That's actually. And the crazy thing is, they changed his. Yeah, changed his DHC.
Base Goku.
Yeah, because you could do the knee, right? That's just...
So a teleport and is invulnerable.
So many things, dude. I think what's crazy to me, especially with 17, really quick before we move on, is going back to that super. The fact that they changed and I think it was for the better, right? They changed his DHC from the punch teleport thingy into the like you're checking on him at the end of the day, like you checking on the stoop, and then now he's just barrier punching you, like that's scary.
It happened with Double L, and I think it happened with June. I level 1 randomly, and they tried to level 3 me, and I DHC into barrier 1 that interaction.
I remember that. I actually watched that live one time. I was like, listen, man. And we're really happy we have you on the show, because the fact of the matter is that we haven't really had a true, like, we've had Pivace before, and this is right as he was picking up Android 7. Right as he was picking him up. You've been with the character for a very long time. Same with Base Goku, right? When I actually hit you up about the podcast, you told me you're going to take a break from Base Goku. I feel like that break is working out in spades right now. Because now with Janemba on the team, your kind of team like rounds out, where you have 17 that has those kind of not limited tools, but have really strong tools. You have Janemba with that crazy assist, and you have kind of Goku Black rounding out the entire team. I feel like that team is a very scary team. And I'm actually genuinely terrified of that. I'm really scared of that. I don't know why.
And I could kind of go autopilot with Janemba assist too, because you know how people like the super dash.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exo drive, you know, when he goes into the Rekka format, is anti-air. I could just like not think as much.
Yeah, that anti-air, like having played this one guy, I get hit by that a lot. Because like it's just hard. I don't know. I'm used to against most characters being able to commit in certain situations. Against 17, it's weird. I don't mind fighting 17 like far away neutral, but once he starts getting in, if he's not in block, yeah,
you get hit randomly by high low 17s, and you know I learned some things from them, but one grows faster than the other. What FloKey said too was true, and you know everything what he's doing.
Yeah.
17 for time, doing everything I'm supposed to be doing with them.
Right.
Still amazing. So let me give you an example. His EX Rekka is frame 1.
Right.
If you, for example, if you have Sparkin and you could basically punish light, because it's basically almost a true string.
That's
then level 3. But since your opponent is still in the air, I could EX Rekka, punish you. Remember a lot of these small techniques because they are situational, but they could help.
That's true. That's very, very true.
Set up where your opponents can 2H or level 3 you.
Mm-hmm.
But EX Rekka.
Right.
Means that there's tools that even I'm not completely doing.
Right.
Using for months. It's amazing and fun.
Yeah. Don't talk to me about using tools that have been discovered for months. JDiesel, don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Oh my goodness. FloKey has something he'd like to share with the class, and he's very, very proud of it. FloKey, why don't you show the class what you've been working on?
I finally learned how to do the universe fuzzy. Gang, but I'm still gonna get blown up by Android 7 because he can just barrier through fucking me through the fucking kick. So I'm just like, yay! But that's a really interesting point. I don't know. It just like it kind of goes back to what Ax just said, right? Like you don't like the way the game has been playing. You don't have to use all the tools present. Like some tools that you don't really know about, other players might be using. And I feel like there's a lot of characters in this game, and I've said this so many characters in this game that you can like a freestyle, right? Like you can have your own twist to it. So like Axeice, there's differences between your play Axe and Hero at 17, easily, right? There's differentiation between Scrot and Hook's Piccolo, just a Nate or Vinith's Piccolo. There's probably differences in Soji's Ginyu's.
There's definitely he's good at the character, and that alone creates a big difference.
You know what, Jay? It's okay. I'm trying to gas you up.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
I got you, gang.
Hey,
that's what I'm
hey,
saying.
top 64 at CEO. I got that going for me. There we go.
Gang.
My one claim to fame in life.
Gang. But no, yeah, I think there's a lot of characters in this game that you can play very freestyle, and you have your own takes to it. And I think as we get more and more into this meta of the year, you're gonna kind of see kind of different differentiations in style come out, especially as we kind of like the World Tour kind of gears up more, and especially as we still have a couple East Coast tournaments left for the season, notably Summer Jam, ECT, NEC, any of the Xanadu monthlies, anything at Bombs. You know, there's so many more tournaments left of this season, and you're gonna kind of see a development, more develop into one that like even without Gogeta and Broly out, this is the healthiest this game's been in a very long time.
I kind of agree. It does suck. GT Goku feels so toxic, but
yeah. But like
right
besides
now,
that, like if
a lot
GT
more viable characters.
Yeah, if GT listen, in a perfect world, right? Perfect world. If Hiroki was to ever listen to lovely podcast that we've been doing for about 25 episodes now. If they nerf GT Goku right now, no one would care. Because this game is so deep.
Yeah, that is true.
It's beautiful. Like Hiroki can literally nerf gun the hell out of GT Goku. GT Goku might still be viable, but there might be characters, because there already are characters that can fill that role just as well.
I mean,
you know,
there's teams like Bardock, Kid Buu, and Super Saiyan Goku. Boom.
Yep.
You see those a lot of the time.
You have Bomba teams. You have your team. You have a lot of like another example of a team. You still have Hook playing Vegeta. Like there's so many like differentiations in this meta that as the season goes on now, especially into the second half of the tour, you're gonna see a lot of new characters, new teams come out of people, and I'm really excited. Jay, talk to me. How you feeling now about this meta?
I'm gonna maybe throw out a bit of a controversial opinion. I think if we purely go off metagame data, I don't think GT Goku is the character that needs to be hit first.
What? What do you mean?
Wait.
Okay, this is gonna be really, really controversial. If you go off of character frequency at every single major tournament we've had, GT Goku is not the most played character. He's not even top 2. The top 2 characters at every single tournament are Bardock and Super Saiyan Goku. Personally,
so you're using science?
This is how I like to do it. Like, don't get me wrong. There's the tier lists are a mixture of science and like feel, right? Because there's sometimes you like go, I know this character's better than this character. No, I can't exactly tell you. Like their tools are kind of close, but I think it's this one. Personally, I wouldn't mind if Bardock got a slight touch.
I agree.
Because
Bardock is a fair character. Like I feel like Bardock just got the most simplest tools that make some See, okay. How do I put it? Bardock just got really, really simple tools that
Yep.
just makes him really good, and you
Yeah.
can't really nerf it to
And
make him.
the only thing you could maybe do is like I've kind of gone back. You can't hit his Oki. You've already done that. Like the problem is most of the things to nerf Bardock aren't character changes. They're
They're not.
system mechanic changes.
Yeah.
And
Like,
that's
Yeah,
like that's like a different issue altogether. Like stuff like his auto combo, which everyone
That's
loves
what
to
I'm
complain about. It only is that way because the system mechanics are the way they are. That's
Yeah.
not Bardock's fault. His jab is good, but if it didn't autocorrect, nobody would complain about it.
Or if I think one thing, and it kind of like, I want to rebuke that. The thing is, you could make like there's some auto combos in the game that are kind of slow. So like, what if like as a hypothetical,
Well, you
make
let those
his
autocorrect, but you change.
117 is the
no, what I'm
best
saying is,
example.
like, what if you make his auto combo have be a couple frame, his second hit, or maybe his jab initially be like a couple frames slow.
I
You know,
mean, the first hit of his
maybe
jab, they can only make 1 frame slower. They could give
what?
Bardock now. That would be a massive change. If they made
Yeah,
Bardock have a frame 7 jab,
that's
he would
huge.
get a lot worse. Like
Yeah,
that would be a
Not
pretty
gonna happen.
major hit, to be perfectly honest. I think that's
Yeah.
overkill. I don't think Bardock really needs to be hit that much, but I think purely on character frequency, he's been the top character for the last 2 seasons.
I mean, he did birth Goku, so we wouldn't
All
have
right.
Dragon Ball. He didn't. We wouldn't have Dragon Ball.
Oh my god. What is this, like
So-
father of
I'm
main
gonna
character
change the
privilege?
future.
He legit changed the future, Jay. He literally was like, "Yo, I'm going to change. Listen, I'm going to be around. I'm going to change the future a couple times. I'm going to go Super Saiyan before anybody else can go Super Saiyan." And it kind of goes back to what you just said. Like, he was the first DLC in the first DLC pack.
The best
Very first
DLC
one.
character was literally the first one. Like
That's crazy.
Like, think about that. After as many characters we've had as we've added after every patch that changes, because every other top tier has actually gotten knocked down a peg. The only one you could say maybe did it is some people argue Kid Buu didn't really get that much worse.
Yeah.
I think he
Yeah.
got a little bit worse. I mean, he's basically the same character. It's not that much different.
Right.
The top 4 characters right now, not my opinion, but in terms of raw data, are Bardock, Super Saiyan Goku, GT Goku, and Kid Buu, in
That's
that
it?
order for character
Um,
frequency. This
okay,
is
character frequency,
for
yeah.
top
What he's
32s
saying
at
is, like,
majors.
consistent use and stuff, but people are using those characters trying to make money and to win.
Yeah,
So most
That's-
definitely,
Those 4 characters are basically your kind of win con, and then you have like those handful of specialists that like you're not seeing. I hate to bring up the Piccolo argument, but like you're not seeing a lot of Piccolo, not seeing a lot of Vegetos. You're seeing an uprising in Broly, right? But like you're not.
from there,
Like-
like in tournaments and stuff.
yeah.
Even seeing Gohan, we had Kalimech on last, right? And the amount, and we've talked about like how crazy Team Gohan's gone.
Oh, he was
Like-
always great.
Yeah, that's what I'm
With his
saying.
auto combo,
His auto
Bomb
combo's
loop,
so good.
universal, easier universal.
Yeah, the fact that
You
you
do
can
80,
combo.
90K.
Yeah,
They buffed him.
Yep.
yeah.
The, see, what you said is true about data. It's true. It shows consistency of who's used more. Like me, and I was on a serious. Well, and I be serious with you. Who I feel like who has the most threat potential.
Yeah.
Adult Gohan, Broly, and Goten.
See,
Serious. And Kid Buu, let's just say he's in there.
Yeah.
They have way better neutral. I'm love neutral.
Yeah.
Something that doesn't have neutral beat by something with neutral. And Goten's could easily stop Bardock and everything he believes in. This is also a team-based game, like we talked about earlier.
Yes.
If it's a 1 versus
Yes.
1 game,
we wouldn't be having
Mid-tier.
this conversation. We really wouldn't have this conversation.
yeah, Bardock would be mid-tier easily. Broly would be an easy S+ tier.
Oh my god,
right.
he'd be the most
Oh my
insane
God.
grappler ever if this was a 1v1 game.
Oh my God.
To stop and projectiles. He has super armor of everything he does on frame 3.
Sorry, I had a channel manager Broly for a second. Because
because guess what's gonna happen when they kill your 2 characters?
they're kind of solo. It's. I think the 1v1 in this game now, like back in the day, and I feel like that's what kind of we can have a whole other. We could. We don't have that. We might not have that kind of time. But the thing is like the 1v1 in this game is kind of turning into, if you don't have an anchor character, what was your point character, and can your point character hold up against like a really strong
Right now,
anchor
I
character?
do not want 17 to be my last character.
No,
all.
for real. Like honestly, there's characters. Like honestly, I love you, Jay, but I'm pretty sure you don't want poor little Ginyu.
I never want to have Ginyu as my last character,
Okay,
like in
fair enough.
any circumstance.
Like,
Like
Gohan-
I'd rather guard cancel 17 and let him die.
That's OD. You would sacrifice the boy. You would sacrifice the MVP. That's crazy. You would just let him die before he got the Super Dragon Balls, before he became the hero. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Well, now since we have the full roster for season 2, which is I think is bumping it up from, I think we're at 34 right now. So we're ending the season with 36, I believe. Something like that.
Character cast, yeah.
Yeah, like 36 characters.
Poorly.
Yeah, man. Like, now, quick hypothetical question. Quick, you ready? Do we get a season 3? We're in August.
If
Do you think they're prepping a season 3 right now?
Dragon Ball Fighters 2 right now as we speak, they 3 and might be slow like this year for Dragon Ball 2, or they might make think a bunch of I don't know if you follow Blaze Blue,
I do.
like 2.0, 3.0
I'd be down for that.
characters, but they revamp every character where each character feels different.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball.
Like, but we've already had season 2, and like the thing is like one thing that Bandai Namco is notorious for, even with Tekken, right? Tekken's going into their season 3.
But yeah, see, okay.
That's
Arc System is
crazy.
still Arc System, but since we are kind of affiliated with Bandai, they do want the extra cash and money and stuff.
Yeah, so it's kind of like it's hard to like.
Both might happen. 3.0 patch. So
it might be like a free update, right? So you do like a 3.0, but you rename. So like what they've done with Capcom, what they've done with Street Fighter 4 to Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. As an example, okay,
Arcade Edition.
super to 80, right? You add those extra characters. It was an update that you paid for, but you didn't have to buy a whole new game. So like, I don't know. I think a season 3 would be good. There's a couple characters that obviously we would all want. But I think kind of going back to what Jay said, I think one potential constant is, and a question that we might have going to season 3, if that's happening, is Bardock still going to be on top? Especially with the end of the year again. Like, can we talk about how it's already on? And like, the finals are coming like very fast. Like, I'm gonna be real with y'all, like, and the people in the chat and people on YouTube, VOD. The finals are like only a couple months away.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying, like, this season is going by quick. So I'm praying for season 3. I'm praying for PyCon. I'm always gonna pray for PyCon.
You just want another tall green man to put on your team.
Yo,
that is literally all you want,
FloKey.
Yo.
You don't you can't tell me Pycon wouldn't be sick.
What, he gets the little flame thing?
And he has hyper tornado.
Little flame thing.
Little flame
Yo,
thing.
he has the whole like
Janemba.
like I mean, okay, considering that if we do have a hypothetical season 3,
Ultimate Dragon Ball Fighters.
Okay, we'll call it Ultimate Dragon Ball Fighters. Ultimate Dragon Ball Fighters gets announced. They're adding, let's say, 5 characters.
Fine.
I'll throw it to both of you. Pick 5 characters. Because I have 5.
I mean, 4 characters is already a hard thing for me. And I mean, if we going to be realistic in here, the girl Saiyans in here.
Yep.
Oos.
Pick Khalifa or whatever her name is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Memes and stuff, but Master Roshi would be cool because Videl is just human too.
Yeah, I mean, Roshi could...
Videl.
I know a lot of people were disappointed he wasn't there.
Yeah.
They could easily make Master Roshi playstyle very unique.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that's realistic. I mean, Dan of this game, fighter or whatever his name is.
Hercule, yeah, we could be the Dan.
Hercule will be top
Mr.
tier.
Stockton.
Hercule will be top tier.
Oh
though.
my god.
Like they would make that character top tier. I feel like Krillin fills the Dan tier. This.
Krillin just needs a few changes, and he would be a great character.
Just saying, he's Dan.
What they tried to do on him, they planned this game was gonna be.
True.
Had in mind for this character wasn't working how this game came out to be, and it's that simple. And it's true. Sometimes they have early character development. It was like, nah, this is not gonna work.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Jay.
Goku had the bounce.
Ooh, I remember the Evo build of this game when you can Dragon Rush and keep a combo going. Ugh. But yo, JDiesel.
Yeah.
Listen, hit me with your season 3 characters if we get.
I'm not gonna lie, it'd be really dumb, but I would be kind of down for King Piccolo. Like Dragon Ball King Piccolo. Like, I don't know. You can shake your head all you want. I don't care.
Yo,
GT Goku.
Yeah. I like how they did GT Goku though, because they were able to do Kid Goku and GT Goku at the same time with the power pole. Yeah. I thought that was really smart.
Yeah, that was cool.
Like, I like that kind of character design. And hell, if they did like a Piccolo where he had some King Piccolo stuff and like regular Piccolo, I don't know, they could mess with it.
Yeah.
Let me see. Who else would I really, really want? Because, like, you guys kind of hit on most of the people I'd want. Like, I would kind of like Roshi and Hercule. Those would be kind of fun characters, like, add to the game. I don't... Someone in the chat said Raditz. And, like...
Double Sunday.
Double Sunday. Like,
Double Sunday.
Like, Raditz could be interesting.
The character I care about will be Baby.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be a cool GT character to have.
Baby would be so sick. Yo. I'm gonna hit you with the most obscure character. Do you remember Devilman?
Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Put Devilman for Dragon Ball Fighters.
There's exactly a 0% chance they put Devilman in Dragon Ball.
If they put Devilman in Dragon Ball Fighters, I will eat like 20 spicy nuggets on stream with no water.
Wow. You really put yourself out there for that one, FloKey.
Listen, if they put Devilman in this game, I will do that.
All right.
I
mean,
think Devilman would be cool.
Honestly, like, I know some people want to see this game get up to like the number of characters they have in like Xenoverse, because I've seen that people say that before. I don't want a character. I honestly don't want a roster of like 100 characters.
I think
if they're all
solid.
flushed out, I think that's actually too many characters. But then again, Smash Ultimate has a ton of characters, but it's not a team game. So actually, this is a good question I'd like to pose, more of a general question. What do you guys think is the maximum number of characters you personally would think a team game should have? Like a 3v3 Marvel / like, what is the maximum number? People talk
we
about
were
minimum.
spoiled about Marvel, so yeah, 50.
50, you think that's the cap?
We were spoiled
50.
about Ultimate Marvel and Marvel's Capcom 2.
We were really spoiled. We were genuinely spoiled.
Yo, MVC2, oh my god. I want that game to get a remaster. I'm like, I want to be able to play it on not a Dreamcast with a Brooks converter and it be good. Like, I want a good port of that game where everything is functionally the same.
Or you have to go find a Mostic. Or you have to go find a Mostic.
Yeah, and it's like, because Marvel 2 is such a beautiful game, and I really wish more people got the opportunity to play it. Because for me, that was the game that made me love fighting games. I was absolute trash at it, but god damn, that game is fun. Except when your friend decides to just chip you out with, you know, Doomrock's Trot Assist and Strider, and then lie to you and say, all you gotta do is hold back to block. You know, except for that exact situation, I think it's a pretty fun game. Not naming anybody after school special, but you know who you are. But it's stuff like that. Like, I really think I would love a remaster of Marvel. I'm really happy the space that Dragon Ball has come into. It doesn't quite do the same thing that Marvel does, but I also don't think this game tries to be Marvel, which I think is a really good thing. I don't think this game, like when they were designing it, they went, we want to be Marvel. They went, we want to be Dragon Ball in a team 3v3 setting. And I think they've done that really, really well.
I think they did this game, Mike. Granted, like, there is characters in this game that are, like, obviously some better than others, you know?
Right.
But I feel like this game is where it needs to be. And I think, again, having you on the show tonight, Axeice, you kind of, like, in your pool of characters, I've mentioned this so many times. I feel like it'd be redundant, but I'm saying, like, that kind of stuff, like, makes, like, a player and, like, will show your character variety and will show how far this game can go. Like, you breaking the barrier, no pun intended, 0 pun intended. I did not even plan that. Breaking the barrier with Android 17. You have Janemba now. There's like there's games at a really good spot. So if for some reason you watch this podcast or listen to this podcast and you're not playing Dragon Ball FighterZ, Jay, what should we do? Like,
I mean,
what do we do?
All I can say is I think this is a beautiful game, and I think you should play it. But
for real,
I mean, I gotta say this has been a fun talk. Technical issues aside, I know that we've had some issues here and there.
It's all good.
But it is what it is, and you know what? We've made the best of it, and we've had an absolutely phenomenal guest in Axeice. I mean, the amount of character-specific knowledge you have, and this is one of the things I personally love, and this is one of the reasons I love this podcast. I love sitting down and talking to players like you. Talking to players who have more knowledge about a character, you will forget more about Android 17 than I will ever know. And that, to me, is awesome. Like, I love character specialists, and it makes you even better. You're not even one character specialist.
You're like 7.
Right, you're like 7 rolled into one. It's like
what you know, honestly, we were gonna name this so we think of fun titles every week, right? You know what I told JDiesel to call this episode? Just Axeice.
What?
Just straight up Axeice.
Yeah, he told me not to put anything else and to just put your name. Like, that was it. He was like,
Axeice.
He's like, there's too many characters, I can't pick one. I was like, oh my god, FloKey, we gotta settle on something here. Come on now.
Honestly, and it kind of
110 hours on Goku Black. That's how long I've been playing that game. I looked up my playtime recently, and that's day 1. I always had Goku Black.
That's
with that character, which is crazy.
Like, that's phenomenal. So I guess the last quick thing we'll hit before we get into the wrap up here, what events are you looking at next?
Yeah.
I signed up for East Coast Throwdown, so if
I
could get there.
CT boys. Oh
my
I'm gonna show you around CT.
I think I should try to sign up for Summer Jam soon. So
I will be at Summer Jam. Definitely come on through. It's gonna be a fun time. Hopefully I'll be on the desk, because I would love to commentate one of your games. And I'm gonna be real. Your 17 is gonna come out, and I'm gonna be like, by the way, I learned this from Axeice himself on the podcast, and I'll like
It's
be
like,
throwing
hey,
I'll be
man.
like, anti-air
Like,
properties.
at D10, when I was watching me the things I was able to do or do with Base Goku or Goku Black or anything, I was like, yeah, this is not out there, and
Yeah.
it's not hard to get.
And that's what I love is like when a player doesn't just play their character, they push their character forward.
Truth.
And I think that's one of the big things that you as a player, and I think it's why you've become so popular, is because you're not somebody who's just like, hey, I'm going to pick up this character, I'm going to learn what's already on Twitter. You're the guy who's putting stuff on Twitter. But it's not just in the lab, it's in bracket. And that's
Like,
incredible.
That's the crazy. Like, here's the thing too. Like, this podcast is called Under the Radar. You don't fly under the radar, but all your characters do. That's the crazy thing. But, yeah, damn.
I feel like I get people respect and they still enjoy me watching, and that's what makes me happy. The game and still have fun, even if I lose. There's people who get frustrated. I get frustrated, but only at myself because I knew I could have done better. But I could have done better, and now I know what to do for the next time.
And that's a really... Oh, go ahead.
The player, you should not be like, oh, it's the game fault. Have the control, and you are responsible in your life.
Right. Very true. That is well put. Well, all great things must come to an end. This episode 25 has been insane. We might have our next guest kind of locked for next week.
Now, actually, that's a good segue.
Jay, do you have the hint? Jay, do you have a hint? Don't spoil it, but you have a hint.
Axeice, I gotta ask, have you seen the Xanadu clip that's been making the rounds on Twitter today? The one with a certain player popping off and calling out a lot of different people.
I know.
Oh man, I was hoping you had seen it. All I can say is look forward to the next Xanadu monthly. No Kami's gonna be there. Lowry's gonna be there. Alucard's possibly on the and next Xanadu Axeice, it's gonna be stacked. Like we got some talent coming through, and part of it might be because one of our boys decided to he got on the mic after winning something and he went off a little bit. So
yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. Jay, do you have a hint for our next guest next week?
All I can say is if you want to know who our next guest is, check out the Xanadu monthly that we just had this weekend, and the champ might be paying a visit. That's all I gotta say.
Oh!
But as we like to do with all of our guests, Axeice, we like to offer a couple minutes at the end of the podcast. So anything that you want to talk about, you want to promote, anybody you want to shout out, we like to give you that kind of spot to, really kind of lay out whatever it is you want to talk about. So feel free, my man.
I keep it simple. I appreciate everyone who supports me on my streams, on my Discord, everyone who just likes to talk to me casual. Go through the day when you have people who likes you instead of having enemies, and it's that simple. It's nice to win or lose a tournament and don't have hate behind your the back of your weight. You know how it goes.
That's very true.
I really, really respect that. And on that note, it looks like we are just about at the end here.
Also, I'm going to throw in the chat Axeice's Twitch.
Yes, be sure.
You guys are not following that.
Yeah, for those of you watching the VOD, follow that link. Follow this man on Twitter. You can see his Twitter is currently on screen. His Twitch is in the chat. He is a phenomenal player. You can check this man out at the HOC. Like, man is making waves out here. Be sure to catch it. All right, guys? Well, anyways, that is about going to do it for us here at Under the Radar. I have been JDiesel.
I'm gonna go lab some Janemba. No, I'm not. This has been FloKey.
And this has been Under the Radar. All right, peace out, guys. I'm going to kick y'all over to J-To. Oh, my God. We're out.
See some stuff locked.